Hey everybody, Nathan Nile here reviewing the entire Land Before Time series. So for those of you who stumbled on this video by accident, I've got a playlist with all the other movies if you want to check those out. This one is specifically reviewing Land Before Time number 9, The Journey to Big Water. And I like to call this the beginning of the end because there were... This is where it starts going downhill. Like, the others were all great, and I was always actively looking forward to the next one, but, like, after watching this, I kept constantly finding myself asking, like, oh my god, I think after number 10, like, I got to, when 11 came out, I was like, oh my god, they actually made another one. And then 12 came out, and I was like, oh my god, they actually made another one. And then 13 came out, and I'm like, oh my god, they actually made another one. They actually had plans for number 14 and 15, and they had plans for a second season of their TV show, which I bet you didn't know about. But the studio ended up getting shut down, because apparently I'm the only one that made any money, that gave them any of their money. So, that's a thing. But yeah, this movie, it's not one of my favorites. It's got an interesting character because it's about how one day the Great Valley gets flooded and there's just a whole bunch of water just covering the place, and now there's this dolphin-like creature named Mo, and Littlefoot, and he decides he's gonna help him get back to the big water, which is what they call the ocean. And, you know, of course, there's danger along the way. They've got to deal with a swimming shark tooth, and there's just it's got one of the great. It's not the greatest story, and I don't necessarily. There's some issues I have with the message because there's something that Littlefoot's grandpa told him, like, in a world so full of life, you're only as alone as you choose to feel. Which, that statement, you know, I agree with it to an extent. It's just that I would debate to change the wording maybe, but I get what he's trying to say. Like, you know, no one has to be alone necessarily. I mean, you know, being by yourself doesn't necessarily mean you're alone, even if your friends and family aren't with you at the time. That doesn't mean you don't still have the love, you know. And this is also you have imaginary friends. That's a good song in here. It's a song that talks about imaginary friends are wonderful friends, and everybody has a no one. So there are some good things about this one, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. This is very close to the bottom, but it's still a decent enough story. Like, if you watched the other 8 before this, you might as well watch this. But like, if you've never seen the Land Before Time series before, do not start with this one. You know, look at some of the others first. Some of the ones I've mentioned in the other videos. But I mean, it's an okay movie. It is what it is. You know, most movies, once you start getting up to number 9, you can't expect the quality to stay as precise, you know. It's either gonna get better or it's gonna get worse. Unfortunately, this was the latter.